So when adding images to your website, the biggest thing you want to do is make sure that the images are a proper size so that your website loads quickly. The problem with having a very large image on your website is you can make it displayed smaller at the size that you want, but it still loads the actual full image file. So if you have a very large image file that you took with your camera, for instance, um, and you're showing it at 500 pixels, but the actual image is 5,000 pixels, you're loading that image 5,000 pixels and you're only displaying it at 500 pixels. So that's a lot of image that you don't need to load that you are every time that page is loaded. If you have multiple images like in a gallery and they're too large, it can really slow your website down. So when uploading images to your website, there's a couple different ways you can choose to resize images. The best way I have found is kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but it does it very quickly. So I'll kind of show you what I do. So if you have a folder with all of your images in it, I like to go separate into my categories or my galleries. And when I go in, I'll create a secondary folder. It tells me what size of images these are. And these are all the original ones. I've made them smaller. Now I'm going to make them medium. So what I'll do is I'll select all of them. You can click on the first one, hold down Shift and click on the last one. You can select what you want. And what you're going to do is you're going to right click and you're going to send to mail recipient. And this opens up Microsoft Office. If you don't have Microsoft Office set up, you might need to go through a setup wizard the first time to have it set up. You can choose which size that you want to make it. So you can have the original size, kind of defeat the purpose. Large would be 1200 by 80 pixels. Medium, 1024 pixels wide. And then small would be 800 by 600 pixels. So for a gallery, I like to use small or medium. We'll use medium. And then if you attach them, you'll see it's preparing them to send in an email. Now, we're not going to actually send them in an email, but what this Outlook does is it will actually attach them to an email to be sent. Here's all the images that you had selected, and they're ready to be emailed. This email would not go out, obviously, because there's too many images and there's too much in there. But if you just select one, press Shift, and get them all selected, or if you push the first one, hold Shift down, you can use the arrow buttons to select them all. You just want to make sure all of them are selected. And you push Control C for copy. You can also right click and copy. And you go into your medium folder, Control V, or right click and paste. And this will paste the copied images that are in a smaller resolution. So you can see the size of these images are much smaller than what the originals would have been. So if you go back, you see the size of this one. It's 962 kilobytes. And in the medium, it's 103 kilobytes. So we shrunk that down quite a bit so that we do not have to worry about having images that are too large.